Hey guys, Adam Rose, Vice President, Senior Loan Officer of Western Ohio Mortgage here in Sydney, Ohio. And today is another episode of the Mortgage Guy podcast. And we are doing market updates, and we're really going to do a little bit of legislation too, all right? Kind of give you some ideas of what we're going to do in the new year. And we want to hear from you as well. Tell us some topics you want to hear about, right? What's important to you? So let's dive into this thing. If you guys watched a couple of previous videos, it's probably 3 weeks ago or so, we talked a little bit about NAR, right? National Association of Realtors, and their lawsuit they find themselves under. I'm not going to dive back into the cause of the lawsuit or anything like that, but just an update. So the attorneys that filed this lawsuit in Missouri that won the case have opened up to the entire country. Yay. So it's coming to a state near us. Well, here it goes again. So here's a little history on this, and I find it interesting. Okay. So, and the reason I bring this up is when this new lawsuit hit with all the sellers saying they were being overcharged, didn't know they were paying the buyer's agent, which we all call BS. All right. Everybody knows it's the way things been done forever. Anyways, we felt like that argument or that case has kind of been heard before and it was thrown out. Well, background. So in 2020, Department of Justice and NAR had agreed on a deal after the DOJ looked into NAR and how they list properties and how they pay agents and all that. And the deal included making commission fees more transparent and clarifying what the services are for and that buying a house isn't always free, right? Makes sense. Well, they came to an agreement that everything that they were doing currently, all their documents were in line and it made sense. It was very clear for consumers to continue down the path of listing their property and who was getting paid and how they were getting paid. But in 2021, all right, under new leadership, keyword, does everybody know what happened in 2021? We have a new admin, right? New administration came into place. The DOJ canceled the deal, saying it stopped them from investigating the rules that might hurt buyers and sellers. And NAR disagreed and asked a court to stop the DOJ's new investigations. And then in January 23, a judge supported NAR, saying that the original deal should still count, but the DOJ didn't agree and is now trying to appeal this decision in court. I feel it's a little odd, this timing, isn't it? How the DOJ reneges on the deal in 2021 after a new administration comes into the Oval Office. And then in January 23, a judge actually supported NAR's decision, and the DOJ is now fighting it. And then just a couple months ago, we have a class action suit. It's interesting, right? So maybe the DOJ is losing that argument and actually has been pushing this issue to local attorneys saying, hey, here's an opportunity to do this, and it helps push DOJ's opinion, right, on this whole situation. That's just odd timing. So take that as you will, all right? I don't know if you're a conspiracy theorist, not that this is really a conspiracy theory, but who's really behind all this, right? We thought some of the big boys like Zillow and Redfin and all that stuff were trying to push some of these agencies out. Maybe it was the DOJ that didn't agree with the way they were doing business, and they wanted to hurt the market. It's a little weird, right? All right, another quick update. So the CFPB is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Got another fine, all right? So the CFPB just comes in anytime they need some money. They go into usually big banks, right? They usually they do come into independent mortgage bankers' offices and do reviews, but they usually go after the big fish. They have a lot of money because they need to fund their operation. Well, Bank of America just got hit with $12 million for mortgage violations. So they're just settling is what they're doing. To settle charges that submitted false mortgage data to the federal government. Now, when you hear false data, you think, oh my God, they were falsifying Social Security numbers, date of births, and loan amounts and income. Nope, none of that. So the second largest U.S. bank did not admit or deny wrongdoing in the case, which alleges that hundreds of loan officers over at least a 3-month period between 2016 and 2020. That's weird. A 3-month period between those, that's a weird time frame. They failed to ask 100% of the applicants legally required questions about their race, ethnicity, and sex. And instead of asking those questions, they just reported that the applicants chose not to give that information. So this is the downside of doing electronic documents, right? You have to ask those odd questions. It's an uncomfortable question, right? It sounds like you're actually trying to be targeting certain races and things like that, or excluding that, and redlining and all that fun stuff. But you're not, right? It's a legal question. Hey, I need to ask, what's your race, gender, ethnicity, all this fun stuff. That's why I choose to do as many loan applications as I can face-to-face, and we can fill it out together, right? We can do it on observation. But you can't do that when you're e-disclosing to clients. So you have to ask those questions. So that's a nice $12 million learning opportunity. Heads up there, guys. So the last one I want to talk about, and I feel like this is huge. All right. So I support it 100%. I know it's odd because I believe in all the freedoms that we have and the ability to build a business and do whatever you want with that business and be successful in this country. But this is addressing an issue that is causing hardships on families all across the country, right? We talk about rent increases and the cost of mortgage or the sales prices of these homes, and all this stuff is squeezing families very, very tightly, living paycheck to paycheck. And we're having these issues, and we've been talking about rent controls and all that. Well, this could help us. So it's called End Hedge Fund Control of American Homes Act. Okay? Senator Jeff Merkley and Representative Adam Smith had submitted this piece of legislation. So I'm just going to kind of read a little bit of this so you can kind of get an idea. And here's a quick synopsis, and then we're going to talk about briefly what it's going to do to fix it. So our nation faces a housing affordability crisis. While some of our housing challenges, including a supply shortage, will take years to remedy, others can be addressed immediately, including a ban on hedge funds owning and controlling large parts of the housing market. American families should not have to compete with multi-billion-dollar corporations when purchasing a home. It's past time we give every American family a fair chance to become a homeowner and put an edge to hedge funds taking over the housing market. Large-scale hedge funds investors are taking over the housing market at an alarming and accelerating rate. In 2011, no single entity owned over 1,000 single-family rental units. As of June of 22, all right, the Urban Institute estimates that the large hedge funds and other institutional investors own roughly 574,000 single-family homes. That's the key. Single-family homes. We're not talking about apartment complexes or fourplexes and 5- and 6-unit properties. Single-family homes. The owner-occupied target, single-family homes, right? It's a little aggravating. Data from the first 3 months of 2023 shows this trend continuing, with hedge funds purchasing 27% of the market of single-family homes this year. Okay? That's a lot of homes. So, how are we going to fix it? So the End Hedge Fund Control of American Homes Act seeks to put an end to this harmful practice of hedge funds buying up single-family homes. So again, specifically single-family. All right? It bans hedge funds from owning single-family homes and requires them to sell at least 10% of their total number in stock. Okay? So they have 100 homes. They got to sell 10 each year, over a 10-year period of time. Okay? And they have to sell them to owner-occupieds. Subjects hedge funds to subjects hedge funds to a $50,000 per single-family home per year tax penalty on the number of single-family homes owned above either zero or a scheduled 10% reduction per year over a 10-year winding down to zero. After a 10-year full phase-out, all hedge funds will be completely banned from owning any single-family homes. It's a little harsh. So that's what I'm saying. It's hard. I agree with what they're trying to do. It's just hard to tell American institutions that they can't do certain things. Kind of infringes on it. But I get it. It's going to be very helpful. So after a 10-year full phase-out, all hedge funds will be completely banned from owning any single-family homes. I just mentioned that. It imposes a 50% tax on the fair market value of any future hedge fund purchase of a single-family home, including other tax penalties and all that fun stuff. The purchasing of single-family homes by hedge funds, especially in the current housing market, serves only to make profits from the investors and provides no value to the communities where these homes are located. People should not have to go up against hedge funds and when they're trying to buy a home in a community that they're choosing. Banning hedge funds from the single-family housing market will help enable more families the opportunity to purchase a home and combat the growing large investor landlord model. So, agree or disagree, people? So if you think 574,000 homes, that's a lot across the country that's owned by Wall Street and institutional investors. And if you think that this goes through, this is a 10-year phase out. So that's 57,000 homes being listed that could help our inventory issues and put people into those properties that's per year. That's huge, right? That can be, again, that's not going to fix our inventory issue in full, but that is a massive, massive influx of homes hitting the market all at once, okay? So let's comment in the video, guys. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts? It is that weird fine line of government overreach, but we are in a serious issue with the housing market, so something does have to be done. So let me know in the comments. Do we push this thing forward and completely support it? Or do we let American institutions do what they want to do because they're the big boys in town and they got the money? Tell me your thoughts. I'm interested in hearing about it. So, again, guys, that's it for us this week. We're going to take a break for a couple of weeks because the holidays are upon us. So I hope you guys have an amazing holiday, great Christmas, a great New Year's. Be safe out there. But remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we will see you in 2024 with some new guests and some new topics.